All right, today we're diving into something I think you'll find fascinating. We're calling it sacred excess. And it all kicks off with a question that, let's be honest, probably hits close to home for a lot of us. Why do we want the very things our rational minds are screaming at us that we can't have?
So, to really get into this, our story starts in a pretty ordinary place that's about to become, well, not so ordinary. It all begins with a woman we'll call A, a changing room, and a dress that costs $700.
Picture this, a retail changing room. But this isn't just about trying on clothes. It's the scene of a huge internal struggle, a real battle between cold, hard logic and this powerful physical desire.
Okay, so her head is doing the math. It's simple, right? The dress is $700, but she's only got $300 in her checking account. The numbers don't lie. The answer should be a hard no.
And this is where you see these two different logics just clashing. On one side, you've got the head's logic. That's all about the math, the budget, what's reasonable. But then there's the body's logic. And that, well, that's something else entirely. It's about this overwhelming feeling, this excess of desire that just refuses to be put in a spreadsheet.
So this one decision, it's about to spiral into something so much bigger. We're stepping into what the philosopher Georges Bataille would call an economy of ruin. And trust me, this isn't about personal finance. It's about making a kind of offering to the present moment.
And then she does it. She makes the choice that makes absolutely no rational sense. She buys the dress.
You know, the philosopher Bataille actually had a term for this kind of impulse. He called it the accursed share. The idea is that we all, in our societies, produce this excess energy, and it has to be spent. It can't just be saved or accumulated forever. The only real choice we have is how we spend it. Gloriously or catastrophically.
In that one moment, swiping that card, A gets to experience what Bataille calls the sovereignty of the moment. For just a second, she's totally free. She's not thinking about the future, about returns on investment, none of that. She's just purely in the now, spending, completely unbound by usefulness.
But wait, the story is far from over. This is where it gets even more interesting. If we look at this through the eyes of another philosopher, Kristeva, we see what comes next. It's this confrontation with what she calls the body that refuses. And the mirror is about to show way more than just a new dress. See, the dress doesn't cover everything up. In fact, it does the opposite. It perfectly frames something she might normally hide, a scar on her shoulder. It's a physical reminder of her history, a story literally written on her skin. Kristeva has a concept for this, and she calls it the abject. Now, the abject isn't just about things that are gross or dirty. It's anything that messes with our neat and tidy sense of self. It's the proof of our messy, real, physical lives that our brains try so hard to pretend isn't there. But when you look at it this way, the scar completely changes. It's not a flaw anymore. It's a secret wound. It's the undeniable proof that her body has lived. It's been part of life's chaotic, energetic flow. Okay, so now let's pull the camera back. Let's zoom out from this very personal moment and look at the bigger picture. With a little help from the philosopher Nick Land, we can start to see the huge machine that doesn't just let this happen, but actually makes money from it. Right, so here's the big twist. You might think capitalism would be threatened by this kind of irrational spending, but it's the total opposite. The system has gotten so smart that it's learned how to capture these exact moments of transgression, these little bits of sacred spending, and turn them into pure profit.
Land basically paints a picture of this cybernetic feedback loop. It goes like this. Step 1, the system creates a desire. Step 2, you give in and make the purchase. Step 3, the system hoovers up all that data. And step 4, it uses that data to create an even more powerful, more tailored desire just for you. It's a cycle that just keeps spinning faster and faster.
Which leads us to this really powerful idea. That dress isn't just cotton or silk. It's the system itself made wearable. It's this one tiny point where global capital, big data, raw desire, and human labor all come together on one person's body. So, where does all this leave us? I mean, it sounds a little bleak, right? Well, for our final thought, let's go back to A. Let's see what's left over after the credit card swipe in what we're calling the feast that remains. So A takes this expensive, totally irrational dress, and she doesn't hide away in it. She wears it out, into a community. She wears it to a dinner with her friends. And this is a totally different kind of spending. Because here, at this table, we find the things the system just can't process.
It can't put a price on the look that passes between two friends who just get it. It can't quantify the value of a story told over a meal or the comfort of a shared silence. This is a communal kind of spending. Spending time, spending attention. It's a truly human excess.
And look, let's be clear. The system absolutely got its cut. It profited from that $700 sale, from the credit card interest, from all the data it gathered.
But the real value that was created at that dinner table, the connection, the laughter, that shared moment, that belongs entirely to them. That look between friends, well, that excess is still ours to spend, however we want.
And that, of course, brings the whole thing right back to you. In a world that's trying to monetize every single impulse we have, what's your sacred excess? What's that glorious, wonderfully unproductive thing that is still truly yours? What's your $700 dress? And what kind of feast does it lead you to?